So the question now is, how do you know what is written in the Medu Neter is valid and true?
The word Medu Neter literally means the words, voices, or the speech or expression of nature or nature. Okay?
But Neter means God.
So when you're talking about the words and the speech of nature and nature, we're talking about what we see in nature today. So for example, when you go into the written form or the codified form of the Medu Neter, you will see items, people, places, things, animals, objects within inside of nature. Okay? The hieroglyphs or the Medu Neter codified is literally the physical form of it that is written down in scripture. But outside of that, there is nature right now which teaches us.
What is your attachment to Northeast Africa?
To Northeast
where
Africa.
Egypt now is.
Okay, we'll get there. Now, dealing with my history, where I'm from in Nigeria, and I've spoken about this before, time and time again, the people from West Africa were traveling both from to North Africa and East Africa. Now, one of my ancestors, great ancestors, you can check him out, called Oduduwa, He tells you in the history that we have in our museums, he came from East Africa, from Nubia, over. And he's the one that came over and brought the Yoruba language. You see what I'm saying? And then that's why you can see the correlations between the spiritual systems in Nigeria and the spiritual system in Kemet.
There are some myths or stories within there to talk about the primordial God, an initial God who created himself. His name is Atom. He created himself from out of water, and then it says, and it's very crude, but asexually he reproduced and had two gods, Shu, and the other one is Fenat or so, I can't remember. The two, Tefnut, that's right. Yeah. So these two originate, and I don't want to use the word, I'm being very euphemistic, there is an asexual reproduction from Atom, who was the God who created himself from primordial waters. Would you say there is a meaning to that, or would you believe that physically? Now as the hieroglyphs, the sacred writing. We know about ancient Egyptian paganism because of this writing. Now this writing is found in a collection which is referred to as the funerary texts, the pyramid texts, and the coffin text, and the later Book of the Dead. Okay, how do you know if you're going to source your religion or your spirituality and you said you know it to be true, how do you know whatever is written there is true?
Because it's based on nature, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Everything's based on nature. It's based, and the thing is, this is the thing, it's based on their culture and what was going on in their society. It's not for other people to come in and they didn't go out and say, listen guys, this stuff is true, what you're doing is wrong. That's the difference. What they learn in their culture is what they learn for their culture to thrive the community. So the young, that's what I said to you, the whole thing was about teaching and learning. Remember, in my culture, I'm going to learn different things. If I go over to your culture, I don't know where you're from, you're going to have customs and traditions that are different to mine. But I'm not going to go over to you now and say, yeah, listen, your stuff is wrong.
I haven't said that.
No, I know that. That's what I'm trying to say. So their purpose was whatever they were teaching there, was for that culture, for those people to learn. Now, when invaders and people go over and look and see what's going on and be like, hold on a minute, we don't do this in our culture. This don't make no sense. This is like they're worshipping. Then people start, remember, the victors, the people who control the place, control the text, and they will say, so what I'm trying to say is this, what they was learning in their culture is for the people. They understood it. It's in their environments, in their nature. They learn it. What you learn in your culture, in your environment, is what you do. That's it. They weren't trying to.
My question. I really want to inquire because I believe that a lot of people are not forthright with the information. Okay. You say that this culture that was created was for that people.
It was, of course. It would have to be.
Are you from Egypt?
Am I from what?
As in, you say that the hieroglyphics were written for the people at that time. They would understand the stories which they can derive morals from.
Yeah.
Now the Kemet community have come together. They derive their information from this hieroglyphics, but you're saying this hieroglyphics was only for that culture. No. How then do you employ it in your life?
No.
Did you understand?
Okay, I heard what you said. So you said, am I Egyptian? Let's deal with it.
No, I never said you Egyptian.
You said, am I from Egypt? You said.
Okay, sorry.
You said that?
Sorry.
You said that?
I'm not sure now.
You said, you don't remember. You said a lot of things. You said, am I from Egypt? Because you said, I think you was kind of allude like, if I'm from Egypt, why am I basically?
If you're not from Egypt,
if I'm not from Egypt, why am I?
Following a culture?
Okay, let me deal with that. So then now, when you're saying when you're talking about the landmass, the whole landmass of Africa is seen as the same culture. You're dealing with the same culture. You know why? Because The same animals are roaming the same place. The same vegetation is in the same place. People are mingling. It's only nowadays, the only reason why you're thinking it's Egypt and something separate is because when people have come and carved up the whole of Africa and said, listen, that's Egypt, that's Sudan, that's hell. No. At one point, everybody was mingling with everybody. There wasn't no difference.
Well, would you be happy to call it East Africa for the sake of discussion?
No, because I can't. What do you mean?
East Africa, because we're talking about Egypt, North East.
Okay, so East Africa. Okay, if you want to say that.
Yeah, would you be happy with that?
That's fine. But the reason why.
So my question then is, what is your attachment to Northeast Africa?
To Northeast
where
Africa.
Egypt now is.
Okay, we'll get there. Now, dealing with my history, where I'm from in Nigeria, and I've spoken about this before, time and time again, yeah. The people from West Africa were traveling both to North Africa and East Africa. Now, one of my ancestors, great ancestors, you can check him out, it's called Oduduwa, yeah. He tells you in the history that we have in our museums, he came from East Africa, from Nubia, over. And he's the one that came over and brought the Yoruba language. You see what I'm saying? And then that's why you can see the correlations between the spiritual systems in Nigeria and the spiritual system in Kemet. It's the same thing. The same way they have their pantheon of gods.
Basically, you believe in. Sorry,
no, not even believe. What?
Can I?
Go.
Okay, so what I'm understanding, you believe in Kemeticsm because you're culturally associated, not because you think it's a truth.
No, I don't believe. What's it?
You believe in Kemet spirituality, which is derived from Medu Neter, yeah? In the hieroglyphics. Not because it is true, but you find there's a cultural or racial or ethnic association between you and that.
No, there's nothing to know because it's nothing to do with that. Because for one, I don't deal with belief. I know the stuff that they were teaching, I know is true. I know it's true. Hold on.
Visited Egypt. No.
Have you been to Egypt? Have you been to the southern part where Muslim? Have you met the Nubian people? Because I have.
Okay, so the question is,
Okay, so let me continue what I was saying, yeah? So let me continue what I was saying. No, I know, I don't remember these things, I don't deal with. I know that the teachers that they were dealing with, like I said, the teachers that they were dealing with, I know that it's true. I don't believe that
How
it's true.
do you know that it is true?
Because let me tell you why.
Can I make the question and then you can, because it's better to.
Because you said, how do I know if it's true?
Instead of you answering the question.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, do you understand?
Well, you asked me how do I know it's true, so I wanted to answer that.
No, I was going to say, for example, there are some myths or stories within there for talk about the primordial God, initial God who created himself. His name is Atom. He created himself from out of water, and then it says, and it's very crude, but asexually he reproduced and had two gods, Shu, and the other one is Fenat or so, I can't remember. The two, Tefnut, that's right.
Yeah.
So these two originate, and I don't want to use the word, I'm being very euphemistic, there is an asexual reproduction from Atom, who was the god who created himself from primordial waters. Would you say there is a meaning to that, or would you believe that physically?
Well, there's a meaning behind it.
You believe in it physically?
No, this is what I said. This is no, because now you're giving me two things. I just told you. Like my brother just explained to you earlier, the story about the tortoise and the hare, there's always meanings behind it.
So what's the meaning?
So this is, okay, so then now when you get into the meaning, that's when you're dealing with the science. You're dealing with the science, they're talking about energy. We know about energy and how energy's always been there. Can't be created or destroyed. They're showing you how you get to different states of matter. Yeah, do you understand that? How you get from energy and how matter changes. So all I'm saying is, in Kemet, all they were doing, because they observed all these things in nature, because that's what they did. They didn't have TVs and all these buses and stuff that we have today, Xbox. They observed things in nature and they made stories in it to make sense, to teach the people. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now going back to what I was saying about, is this true? The reason why I say it's true, because look, like I just gave you the example of Anubis and the jackal and the dog. That's a breakdown to show you about guide dogs. That's in nature. They're giving you. Yeah.
Okay, look. What I'm trying to say is the Atom. You say that these stories are derived from nature.
Stories.
How do you derive that story from nature? And there are conflicting stories also. Whether Nut is the sky god, right? Nut is the sky god, and who is the earth god? Geb. Is that what your name is? Gab or Geb?
My name is Gabz.
Gabz. Okay.
Yeah.
So these gods, there are different stories as to who they came from. So how do we then know the veracity of these texts?
That's what I'm trying to say. It's not for you to. Kemet doesn't say, listen, take these stories and go back. And if you don't take these stories, you're going to be condemned to. It's not. This is where you get confused. You're putting like a religious thing onto a cultural thing that's just dealing with education and learning. you see what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like, because you're saying, it's like you want me to say that, these stories is true and you have to abide by this and that thing's wrong, but it's not like that.
So you're saying it's not true, it may not be true.
Yo, bro, listen to what I'm saying.
But why are you getting upset?
Okay,
I don't
I'm
understand
not-
what you look. In these discussions, one second, in these discussions,
Yeah.
when people pose genuine questions, it's not good to get upset.
No one's getting upset.
One second.
No
You
one's getting
answer,
upset.
you can answer and show where I'm gone wrong or something. My
I'm
question
trying to.
from the beginning was quite clear, as in the personifications. Is it polytheism that you believe in? Would you describe your religion, like many other Kemets, as polytheism?
You're saying the religion again. This is what I'm saying. We didn't have
belief
no
or
word for religion.
spirituality,
Okay,
many
you
Kemets
saying-
I've heard
describe it
say-
as polytheism, another person could
Describe it as something else.
Polytheism and henotheism.
Yeah, that's down to you
We
guys.
We don't describe our stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
How
it.
would you describe Kemeticsm?
First of all, you're talking about Kemeticsm. Do you know
Yeah.
what Kemet is?
They say it's derived, if I'm correct, from Alan Gardner's sign list, and he's an Egyptologist, for the letters K, M, and then T. If I'm correct, if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. Now this word, it means black land. Am I correct?
No.
Okay, sorry. Go on.
The term actually means blackness or darkness. That's what it means.
With a T at the end.
With a T at the end, okay? Anything with a T at the end, as with your Arabic language, you know Arabic, right? At a T at the end of any word, what does it make it?
It depends. It can
What
mean
can
a
make it?
pronoun for me, a
Yep.
pronoun for you.
What else can it make it?
You can make it feminine.
Feminine, yes? So that's one of the other meanings as well. Or it can make it a thing. Person, place, or a thing. So it has all three meanings of a person, a black person, okay? For example, a black thing,
Land.
which is the, no, black place, sorry, which is the land,
Thing, place,
etc.
or land.
And the land, or the thoughts itself, the black philosophy itself, or black woman, has
So-
various different meanings in terms of how the context is used. Kemet, as in the empire of Kemet, was called Kemet Naut. There's actually a sign glyph that's there with a little X on it that lets you know it's actually to do with a district, land, a nation, whatever it is. So Kemet Naut is the empire of Kemet. Kemet just simply means blackness.
Okay, so that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
We're not talking about Kemet.
So-
the meaning of the breakdown of the
So you're asking about
etymology of
Kemeticsm.
Kemet. Well,
So you're asking
one
about
second. Let me
Kemeticsm.
make the
Which-
question.
I'm
It's
just
clear.
gonna- wait, wait, before you go
My
into
question
that.
is about polytheism in Kemeticsm. Would you concede
So-
that Kemeticsm, whether you want to call it belief, spirituality, following, whichever word we want to, employ, would you say that it is polytheistic?
So again, you're going into Kemeticsm. We don't practice Kemeticsm. That is something that I think you've checked up on Wikipedia, and it's to do with some white woman called Tamara
No.
Tia Sudra.
I heard of that as well.
Kemeticsm. We don't. Nobody in Kemet or Kemetic philosophy utilizes the
word,
term
yeah.
Kemeticsm.
But you do say you're Kemet.
So when
No.
you say that, we're thinking,
No,
Oh, yeah.
how are you coming
no,
from?
you guys say that. We
Where
don't
are
say
you
No,
coming
okay.
from? And you want to place us into the fold of religion, monotheism, polytheism,
Yeah.
pantheism, da-da-da-da. I'm
Yeah.
like, where are you going with that? Okay,
Okay.
let me try to
Okay.
understand your thoughts, and let me
Okay.
try to
In one-
formulate something that you can kind of
Now, I'm
gravitate
really
to.
intrigued about this whole discussion about, you say you don't use the word Kemet. I saw one of the videos where you referred,
Kemitism.
then we said
Kemitism.
Kemet, he said no one refers to it as Kemet.
Yeah,
Forget
reason-
Kemitism,
yeah,
I said
okay.
Kemet thereafter,
But the
and you
reason,
said no.
yeah, because the reason why
Do
we
you use Kemet?
Utilize Kemet.
So you do use Kemet?
We utilize Kemet.
Okay,
but
great.
Wait,
Let me make the point,
Before
and
you
then
go
you
there,
can-
so you need to understand before
Yeah,
you go there.
yeah.
Kemet, the people who hold on to Kemet from ancient times and to modern times, all held different philosophies. You with me? There was 42 gnomes in Kemet Naut. Okay, each one of those 42 gnomes practiced something completely
Different,
different. Every single gnome or country or nation or tribe within inside of the whole of Africa holds a different philosophy.
Yeah.
You with me?
So I'm talking about you guys, within the Kemetic community here. Yeah, you said that what's the guy's name? Sarah.
Go ahead.
Sarah is the most in the Western world, the first speaker for Kemitism.
No,
Kemet.
no. For black,
s-
I said for black people.
For black people, it's in one of the videos.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
I don't think you are.
No, I said black people.
I'm sure you said Kemet.
I'm sure I said
Okay,
black
we can go back and then refer to it anyway.
That's fine.
So, but do you use the word Kemet?
Yes.
Because you do. So you're okay with it. I don't want to get caught up
That's fine,
in
go
the
ahead.
uses of words.
Yeah, go ahead.
Polytheism.
Go ahead.
Do you believe in multiple deities?
Okay, so what's the difference between polytheism and monotheism?
Monotheism is the belief of one. Poly is multi.
Okay, so the belief in one. Okay, what's the difference between monotheism and henotheism?
No, one second.
I just wanna
My
make
question.
sure I'm
yeah,
with
yeah.
you
One
first.
second. One second. But you're asking questions. I don't know where you're going in the direction.
I just want to understand your thoughts first.
My question is, explain, break down for us what your Kemeticsm is. Is it a polytheistic belief?
Okay, first of all, it's not a belief, so therefore there is
What
no
is it?
polytheism, it's monotheism, there is no whatever
theism,
theism
yeah.
that you want to talk about.
Attached to it,
okay?
yeah.
It's simply to do with science.
Science, that's it.
Observing your universe.
Yeah.
Observing where you stand.
Yeah.
Medu
In
Neter,
relation
from
to
the
you.
Medu Neter. Is that the prime source? Oh, we get
Go on, sir, go on.
The prime source of
source
you
is
guys'
the
spirituality
Medu-
is Medu Neter,
The
the
prime
hieroglyphs.
source, no. Again, the prime source is the Medu Neter.
Yeah.
Okay? I think you need to go and take a class in the
Yeah,
Kemetic creed.
I think
That's
you
what
need
we are asking for.
I know.
Teach us.
There is a
No,
Kemetic
there's a creed,
video
there's a
out
creed.
already.
Go and check the
So
video
now
first.
we're just going to be
No problem, no problem. We have
regurgitating the
time.
same
It's a
stuff.
nice day. Let's
So,
go.
within inside of that, what was he going with the Medu Neter?
Yeah.
What does the word Medu Neter mean?
The words of the God. The words of the God.
Okay,
Is
so
that
it means
correct?
the voice.
Well, one second. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah? Even if I do not know one term and I do not claim to be expert in your field,
Cool.
I'm really hopeful that you can discuss with us what is that you believe in.
Okay.
I may not be expert, so there's no point in you asking me if I know what Medu Neter. It makes no difference to the quality of discussion. One second, to the quality of discussion. The Medu Neter you asked me was the words of the gods. We also call it the hieroglyphics, the sacred text.
The Greeks call it that.
You should come back on again.
Yeah, the Greeks
no,
call
no,
it
no,
that.
no.
The Greeks.
The Greeks call it hieroglyphs.
Yeah. That's why I said.
I just remember it hasn't got the automatic on. Yeah.
So my inquiry today is about the validity or the truth within what is found in the Medu Neter.
Okay, sorry. Before you go that, sorry about this, family. I put a new memory card in, and it doesn't have nice glancing on it. So that what that means it's going to cut off, and I need somebody else to turn it off for us because I'm not behind the camera. So if we lose some footage, I apologize. Again, so let me go back to you now, because I'm just seeing how far advanced you are in your studies, so you can
No, I'm
understand
not.
what
I'm
you're
very
talking
proud.
about. No
I'm
problem.
very
So that's
basic.
what I'm going to say to you now. The word Medu Neter literally means the words, voices, or the speech or expression of nature or nature.
Nature.
Okay.
But Neter means God.
So when you're talking about the words and the speech of nature and nature, we're talking about what we see in nature today. So for example, when you go into the written form or the codified form of the Medu Neter, you will see items, people, places, things, animals, objects within inside of nature.
Yeah.
Okay. The hieroglyphs or the Medu Neter codified is literally the physical form of it that is written down in scripture. But outside of that, there is nature right now which teaches us.
So the question now is, how do you know what is written in the Medu Neter is valid and true? I'll give you an example. Some of the hieroglyphics, or if you want to call it the words of the god, the Medu Neter, in the funeral text, the pyramid text, as well as the successive coffin text and the Book of the Dead, refer to the earth as being flat. Would you believe everything that is written there to be truth, or would you say that this is not truth and that this has some deeper meaning?
Okay, so could you get up where it says that the earth is flat?
Yeah.
I don't happen to know.
Okay, so then we can't go into that.
We can't go into
Okay.
that.
We can't go into that. I
Can't
don't
go
know
into
what-
No problem, we can't go into it. But you believe the earth is not flat. Just for this.
Okay.
Say it, isn't it? Say it, don't be shy.
So
Do you believe the
But the thing, one thing I would say is, you see, when you bring up that thing, you should. This is one thing I don't like. When people bring up something and then we say, okay, show me, then you're like, oh, I can't, I don't know.
No,
if
no,
you're
I
going to
don't
bring it
have
up, no, I hear that. But I know if you're going to bring up something, you should have come prepared because in your mind, you knew you was going to come and speak and
Wallahi,
ask
I
these questions.
did not. Wallahi,
Bro,
I did not.
okay,
I don't even
fair
live
enough.
in this country.
That's fair enough.
I do not live in this country.
Okay, that's fair enough.
If you say something, I will accept it. If it's reasonable, for example, you said you don't have a position or you don't want to say the position about the flat earth. I accept that.
Yeah, okay.
all right.
I
So
accept-
so
but
first
what
of all,
about, instead of
go ahead.
speculating, do you believe in a flat earth?
Do I believe we
Because
don't?
of
We
the
don't.
Medu Neter.
Again, we don't believe
we
it
don't
again.
do for belief.
And in the Medu
Do you
Neter,
know that there's
okay,
a
and
flat
in the
earth?
Medu Neter again, when you can look at the depictions,
Yeah.
they clearly show that the Earth isn't flat.
Yeah.
It's circular,
Number
but
one.
it's 2D.
No. I'm talking about in terms of the when you say flat. That's I'm going to deal with that first of all. Flat. Okay. We clearly know that there is mountains. We can look at mountains within inside nature, so we know that it's not flat. When you're talking about Gabz, we're talking about Earth. This right here. In terms of what you're talking about in terms of atmosphere and the planet which we revolve in, okay, they had a they called it a egg or a circlet. So they acknowledged that it was
So it's
circular.
sphere. You believe the earth is sphere?
I don't know.
Just to cut the knife.
I
with
don't
the
know
discussion.
whether it's spherical,
Okay, in the depiction,
geospherical,
you
or
asked me
whatever
not
the
to bring
case is.
something.
What I do know,
Let me say
based
something, because I
upon,
let you speak.
let me talk to you. Based upon the teachings of Euclid, okay, which deals with geometry, we know that the Earth, okay, just like all of the other planets and so forth, are spherical.
Oh, so you're saying it's spherical, the Earth,
Spherical.
because the depiction, you asked not to say something without evidence. I recall something, the depiction that you have.
Does he
One second, let me say.
believe in everything?
Let me, sorry, could I
Like
just...
it's a religion or something?
Yeah.
This is what I was
Could
trying
I-
to show him.
could-
This is
could I-
what I was
We've
trying to
already
say.
clarified that already,
Clarified it.
but
You
let's
know,
go.
guys,
Go
speak
ahead.
with
Yeah,
me,
go on.
isn't it?
Go ahead,
Isn't it?
go on.
I said I have a very
Philosophy,
basic... Sorry,
you're
one
talking about
second, one
religion.
second, one second, one second.
Go ahead.
I said I have very basic. Did I concede this, yes or no?
Yes, you did.
I
Go
said
ahead.
that. Am I asking you open questions instead of being condescending?
Uh-huh.
Be forthright. Stop discussing with him who has got nothing to do
Okay,
with
go
this
ahead, go ahead,
discussion.
go ahead.
Mao, you know, you said the flat Earth. You don't know. You don't know.
No, I'm saying that with inside of Egypt or Kemet itself, they never taught flat Earth.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when you see the depiction of Geb on the floor,
Yeah.
and then his
Yeah.
Nut is above him. In what fashion is Nut? And sometimes Nut is depicted as a cow above Geb. What fashion is Geb in? Geb, I'll say it just for the sake of fluidity. Geb is flat. Nut is a spherical or a semi.
No,
it works out to be.
she's in an arc.
Okay,
She's in
anyone
arc
can
form.
see on
Yeah.
And his knees are
Are
bent upwards, and
You
his
see his
hands
knees
is
are up.
upwards as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. So what does that mean?
So what does that
I don't
mean?
know what does that
What does that
mean?
mean to you?
What does it mean to you?
I don't know.
What does it mean to you? You brought
Me,
up.
honestly, I don't know. I have a very basic.
Okay,
Why I
so-
understood
so
what-
again, we don't- okay, so let me let you
speak,
know
let me
this.
speak.
Let me let you know
because
this.
you asked me a
Kemet does not
question.
teach
listen.
flat
You have to
Earth.
listen.
It doesn't teach
Kemet
flat.
does
You're
not
hearing.
teach flat Earth.
Okay, so you don't
teach flat Earth.
you don't
Doesn't teach
believe in
it.
the flat Earth.
Bro, you just said it.
What is it to you? What is it to you? I'm speaking to
He just
him.
told you though.
just
I
told you
want to
to ask
ask
him
him
questions,
because I
continue.
don't know, so I want to
Well,
verify
he
so that
told
we
you
can
what it
have
was.
the discussion.
He told you what
no,
it was.
he said he didn't know. He said something else. So if
said
you
he
want to
doesn't
get the
teach.
discussion, no problem.
He said he doesn't teach.
But the thing is, there's two people. We're having a cordial
He doesn't teach.
discussion.
That's fine.
And I'm asking, you lot can frown and all the
No, it's fine, continue.
reduces the discussion.
It's fine.
Okay, so we said the Medu Neter has depiction of gods, but you're saying they don't believe in gods, they believe that these are nature.
Okay, they could I say-
I'm looking at the nature.
It's a nature-based spiritual system. And philosophy.
Okay,
Yeah.
do you want, no,
Yeah, I don't mind coming
but
in.
the thing is, I can't
Yeah.
have 1, 2, and 3. I can
So-
only, if you want just to be a meaningful discussion,
Let's
it
have
has
a
to
meaning-
be.
You gotta let him speak. You gotta
Let's
let
have
him
a
speak.
meaningful
You
discussion.
ask a question and let him.
Let's see, where do you want to go with this conversation?
Yeah, where you trying to go?
Honestly, where do I want to know because many a times people come to Hyde Park Corner. I am a Muslim. Yeah, I don't shy away. People know about Islam, and they can ask us questions.
Is it still on? Is it camera on?
It's what?
It's still on. It's still
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
They can ask us questions about Islam, and we're open to criticism. But the thing is, when we ask, yes, that's what we're doing. So when we ask you, it's a whole lot of frowning, rolling up eyes, and the discourse
we're
becomes
speaking to
1
people
second.
who
I'm
are not
speaking,
ready.
1 second. So basically, this
We're speaking to people who are not ready.
So basically, you do not. Let me understand this right. Yeah, from what the Sarah pronounce it. correct.
I'm sure you know my name.
So Sarah, he says that he does not want to tell people what he believes because we are not ready. How condescending is that?
Very.
Okay, so let's move back to the main
Very.
point. Once we made that point, let's move on to more meaningful discussion. How do you know whatever is written on the Medu Neter, the hieroglyphics, is true? This is what I'm trying to say. You say you look in nature.
not a religion.
1 second.
This is what I said. Oh, but I already answered this question to you.
asking
I asked you the question because this is what I said again. You're
You may
saying.
be silly, but look, once again,
silly.
can you guys give?
Can I ask you? Can I ask you?
Can I
Yeah.
say something? It's just that, you know, you lot may know, listen, you lot may know the religion or the thing it is, yeah? We don't know. And
that's
when
fine.
we ask questions, we don't understand why people get upset or roll their
But
eyes.
do you want me to tell you this? But the reason why is because you're asking the question like it's a religion. That's the reason why. And
What would you, I
we've
asked you,
explained
what
to
would
you.
you describe it
This is what I
as?
explained to you. It's not a religion. He just said to you, it's science, bro.
It's science.
Observe, yeah, it's science. That's it.
It's science.
Yeah.
So when you
Science
say,
and philosophy, that's
okay,
it.
So Medu Neter is scientific. Is that what I'm asking? So what
It's,
Okay, the expressions of nature is just the expressions of nature.
yeah.
How you relate to the expressions of nature is something
It's
else.
up to you.
How
Yeah.
do you relate with the expressions of nature?
So how you observe nature is how you relate to nature.
Yeah.
So for example, if you see the sun appearing to rise and set every single day, you
Yeah.
can now basically put down a theory that tomorrow the sun is going to appear to rise, should I say, and it's going to appear to set. And if this continues and continues and
So why do you
continues, it
need-
now becomes a law, becomes a fact.
Yeah.
So why don't we just say it's scientism? Genuine question.
You're telling us to.
Why don't we call this now scientism?
What scientism?
Okay.
This following,
Why don't
whatever.
you-
Following, no, but
You
you're
said it's
giving labels to it. Why do you want to give labels to it? I don't understand.
Giving labels
One
to
second, let me
ourselves.
speak to
Now
one
you wanna
person.
You want to label it.
Let me speak to one person.
Yeah, you want to label
Would you
it.
like to come
Yeah, I will come in.
without?
But why do you, bro?
And have a
I want to
decent
understand what his point. Yeah, I don't.
Because it cannot be that you. The question may be silly for you,
What is he-
but the rest of the people want to know what is it that you guys believe in.
Bro,
you say
no,
Explain
I-
100
you
times
explained
again,
it to
we
you.
don't
You
deal
don't
with
said-
beliefs.
okay,
We don't deal with beliefs.
Yeah.
What is it
So how
that
much
word
more
would you
do
say
we wanna
follow?
talk?
What word would you use?
Oh,
Because
my
we're
days,
using
follow.
conventional
You
language.
just live, bro.
If you don't use conventional language,
no,
what
we just
language?
live.
You just
Oh,
live,
hear me,
bro.
hear me.
Bro,
What
we just
language would you like us to communicate with?
Bro, we just
The
live.
same
That's
ones
what
that
I'm
we're doing
saying.
now, living. We
just
You're
live.
just living.
We live.
So
we're
when you
living.
incorporate things like as in the belief of Medu Neter,
No, who
It's not a
believes?
belief, bro.
Stop
It's not
saying
a
belief.
Yeah.
That will make it a religion.
Yeah.
That's how you're looking at it. It's not a
okay,
religion.
do you
religion.
believe
No,
Medu Neter
Kemet is a place.
Okay, is Medu Neter the words of God?
Oh my days.
No, answer the question. You guys, I don't know why you're
There is
skirting
no
around.
God
Thank
that
you.
be like that.
Medu Neter, the question is clear. Medu Neter, are these the words of God? How come everyone's gone silent?
Because you're asking a question
you
that
all
doesn't make
gone
no
silent?
sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
No, what does the
Because
translation
you're
of Medu
making
Neter?
God
What's
what
your
you
name?
see as God is Daniel. Sorry.
Daniel, Hamza. Medu Neter is translated as the words of God.
Translated by who?
Okay, excuse me, I don't know. What does
Yeah,
Medu
who
Neter?
translated? No, who
I don't
translated
want
it
to
by?
get caught in basic
But
things.
the brother,
So tell us,
the
instead
bro-
of asking me.
the brother just explained to you what the Medu Neter was.
No, the translation of Medu Neter. He said, I said it was the words of God. He agreed it was the words, the writing, the speaking. Am I correct?
Of what?
Of God.
Did you
Of
say?
nature, which he translated as nature.
Okay, nature. So nature. So then, so exactly. So it's
He
nature.
didn't translate. It is nature.
It's nature.
That is it.
Okay, can you read can any of you read the Medu Neter?
Yes.
No.
You can read it?
Yeah.
Can I bring out some hieroglyphics and you'll be able to read it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
The reason I say this is that if your source is taken from these texts, you have to be able to read it.
Go on then. Yes, I know he's coming. He said he didn't come with an agenda, but I know he did. He's come prepared.
When you said you don't know what the earth is,
Hold on, you got internet. I thought you said you had no
listen.
internet.
I don't have internet.
Oh, what are you showing? Oh, get that glyph. Oh, is that what's that?
You're talking about philosophy.
Listen, let's keep the discussion.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, let's keep it simple.
Be civil.
So now I'm going to show something to Kalam. But you said, I don't contest it, but if you know it, then it'll be interesting. Does anyone have internet that they can bring up any hieroglyphic?
Hang on, you haven't got the internet.
No, I said this before. Is there a problem with that? What are you asking? Okay, so the Medu Neter, who am I discussing with?
Kalam, you
What's
said
your
You
Yeah.
say the words of nature.
Okay, go ahead.
How does nature? Yeah, sure. Could you type in hieroglyphics? Yeah?
Yes.
The Medu Neter is the words of nature. Words, writing, and
Expression, words, voice,
who wrote the Medu Neter?
nature.
Nature wrote the nature. Words of nature.
Yeah.
Who placed them onto the walls of the funerary text, which is the pyramid
So you're
text,
saying the
funerary,
codified
and
form,
yes, the
codified form,
codified
the people did.
the people did.
The people.
Yeah.
How do you know? Because there's differences between what one text says and another one. Like I gave you example, who was the son of Ra? Or who were the siblings of Ra?
So who was the son of Ra?
There's different.
Go on, what's the differences?
One of them says it was Shu. One of them says it's Shu. Someone else says Shu was the son of Atum. Am I correct? You can correct. I stand to be
Atum
corrected.
and
I
Ra.
stand to be corrected.
Okay, Atum
You
and
can
Ra
say
are the
this
same
on the
thing.
camera. Atum and Ra is the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I never knew that. And then, why?
This is why we said you got to take a class, bro, before you get into
I don't
this.
understand why you don't laugh when someone
No, do you know why it's
says-
funny? Let me tell you why it's funny.
You come over with an agenda.
Yeah.
You clearly come over with an agenda.
Yeah.
What's the agenda?
To try and prove
Something, I don't know.
You try to prove
What is it? If you
prove
say,
it
if you
wrong.
make a claim,
You're trying to prove
this is your words. You said if a
wrong.
person makes a claim, then they must bring the evidence. You made a claim, I've come here to do something to bring the evidence.
We can all see it in you, bro.
Yeah.
We can see you come
Okay,
over with an agenda.
show the
bro.
glyph. What you want to
What
show?
is my agenda?
What do you want to show the glyph?
I tell you, I show
Show the glyph. What are you trying to show us?
No, I just want to understand if any of you actually can read the hieroglyphs, yeah?
And it's
But why? And if you can't, what does that
Then
mean?
it means your statement was false. If you
Like
said
what?
the statement was that he can read the hieroglyphs, the Medu Neter.
But what's the point? But what's the point?
Cameras, yes, he did. That's
What-
what
but what's the point,
the
though?
point
So
is,
if-
I wanted to inquire. I want you to verify
Phone's
that
right
he
there, you
can.
know.
This
Wait.
is
I was- I was
a
wondering,
random
that is good.
hieroglyphic that shows it.
Leave it.
Yeah, random
Yeah, I'm
hieroglyphic
recording
text.
it. Yeah.
So now, could you, Callum, for the sake of
And
camera,
then how would
read
you?
this?
How
And
would
then
you?
when
how
what?
I
would you
wouldn't.
know?
But
How
the
would you
camera
verify?
has it. I wouldn't.
So
But
why do you
the
want it to read
fruity-
it?
Let the camera.
Okay.
Let me get something else because this
No,
is.
no,
this
no,
is
no, no,
poor
no, no,
quality.
no, no.
Let me show you.
This
It's poor quality.
is poor quality.
Poor quality. Yeah.
I can see it. How can the camera can see it?
No, bro, come
The
on.
camera can see it.
He's trying to make a scene of something. I don't know what he's trying to do.
Bro, come on.
No,
Let
no,
him
see,
get
this,
something.
this is what I'm
Get
saying.
some- no, no,
Get
This is what I'm
something.
saying.
Just
When
swipe.
you cannot answer, you resort to name calling.
No,
now,
swipe.
I never
I'm
called
saying
any
to
of
you,
you
get
names.
Swipe.
a
Get something
hieroglyphic
different.
text. I can
Swipe.
bring up a hieroglyphic text for you right now.
Yeah, get something
Is
different.
that better?
No.
Can I
No,
swipe?
you can clearly see it's not
Can
better.
you see it
No,
there?
that's not better,
You
man.
can't
Come on.
see that. Okay,
Come on,
okay,
man.
I'll just
pull
for
up,
the sake
pull
of
up,
camera.
pull up a proper text.
Pull
man.
up a proper text. Get a proper text.
What should he write?
Yeah, just give him a text to write. Or you get out a
What
text.
with this? Can you see this?
Give him the
I can
text.
see
He'll
it.
write a
You
text.
can see
This
this.
is much better.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
And break
go
it
on.
down.
Break it down, you know without. Okay, just break it down.
Which one was it? Which one was it again?
Choose one. Look, this one is very simple. Yeah?
It's simple, is it?
It's simple.
You said it's simple, you know.
Simple, you know.
It's simple to see, yeah?
Okay, fine.
It's simple to
It's
see.
simple to see. Would you admit that?
It's simple to see, but again, when you're starting to read a text,
Okay,
yeah,
leave it if you can.
you have to start from something that has can't just start from the middle of the text. Go on, how do you do it?
Okay, so the claim is that you can
Oh, there you go.
read.
Ah, what's
but then
that?
when
What?
the text is presented and many pictures are being shown.
Okay.
Okay, let's say for the sake of argument you
Let's get
can
to it.
read.
Let's get to
Can
it.
you read? What you accept? Can you read?
I can read, yes.
In the Medu Neter?
Okay.
So how do you know if you cannot read the source text? What is written there is nature.
What do you mean? Is it nature?
You say that these are the words of nature. Is this what the
That's what it's called. That's what it's called.
Please don't get upset with
Yeah,
me
that's what
because
it's called.
every time we're
Okay.
saying something,
No, because
it's
you're
like,
not making- it's like you're not
I don't
No,
mean to.
you keep saying it to the camera, bro.
Alright.
Just listen.
So,
Stop.
you know-
It's like you're talking to the camera, trying to.
yeah,
No one's getting upset.
So
Come on.
let's make you understand, yeah? The words of nature, okay? The expressions of nature is what we see in nature right now. I said before, what the people did was codify the words of nature into language, scriptural form. So what they did, for example, right now, okay, I'm going to show you something. You have here, these are supposed to represent the lips, mouth. So what they took is the lips from Gabz right now, and they made it into something right here.
So it's not.
So, go ahead, what are you
So
going to say?
it's based on it's based on the photos rather than syllables. Is that what you're saying?
It's based upon
The
what?
language, you know, language has different types of way of reading.
So
One
basi-
could be
so
based upon
basically-
syllables. One could be
Okay,
based on
so basically
on pronunciation.
You have an
Would you
alphabet. So for example, you have an alphabet. This is why you can't just read text just like that. For example, this right here as an alphabet signifies a phonogram, which is ra, which is an R sound. Okay.
This we know. This is simple.
Then it
Could
is
you read
also-
all of this?
Then bear with me, my brother. Then it is also an ideogram. An ideogram is something that
Ideas.
yeah, there you go. It transcribes an idea. So this ra, which is lips, also means mouth, speech, words.
Well, the
chapters,
question was
so forth.
initially. I appreciate that.
Press it again.
I appreciate that.
And then
I really appreciate
and then
that.
it
But the
also
question
has-
was the
Okay,
question
go ahead.
because there's no point in asking a question and you give information about something.
There you go,
The question was can you read this?
Yes.
And also, are you reading right to left or left to right?
Okay, so now I'm going to teach you how to read hieroglyphs, yeah? So basically, right here for the camera, okay, you have it going across to the left to the right, or from right to left. You can't really tell, can you? But the way you tell is by looking at the animals or the people
On where they're facing.
and where they're facing. So wherever they're facing,
That's where
you
you
now
read.
read into with me. So with this right here, it's a very poor way of reading hieroglyphs. The reason being is because you don't know the context behind it first. Hold on, first, and then secondly, it's in the middle. You don't even know what happened before and what happens after.
didn't choose this picture.
I know,
I know, I'm just
This is
showing you,
saying to
just
why
explain
was-
it.
You can't just read it just like that. You need the whole
Okay,
text.
can
in
I
front
ask
of
you a question?
Okay, and then go ahead. What's your question? Go ahead.
Okay, what type of text is this? Is the higher text or lower text?
Higher or lower text? What do
You know, in the funerary text, the pyramid text was all reserved for the priestly kind. And then there was a later form which was available for the general people. If you can read, as you said, Can you tell me which type of text this was?
This is the hieroglyphs. So these are the sacred writings.
No, my question was, in hieroglyphs there are two different
No,
forms.
there isn't no two different forms of hieroglyphs.
Okay,
There is different scripts, okay? So you have hieroglyphs, you have Persic hieroglyphs, you have heretics, you have demotics, and then later
Okay,
on
this
you
is
have
what I'm
another form.
referring to. Is this demotic?
No, this is not demotic. This
Okay,
is hieroglyphs.
Huh?
This is hieroglyphs.
But hieroglyphs is classed under different levels, whether it's demotic for the lower people or priestly for the
there is
higher
only
people.
two forms of hieroglyphs. There is cursive hieroglyphs, and then there is hieroglyphs proper. That's
Okay,
it.
so can you read this now?
Yes.
Please read it.
Okay.
Now. This is the question.
Okay, so I'm gonna help you. So you're gonna take a class with me right now, okay? So first of all, we can't tell what the beginning is because it's form another word, okay? So we're gonna start right here with this word right here. This word here is Medu Neter, okay? Medu Neter literally means the temple of the deity or the nature. Yes, a
Temple of
particular
nature.
aspect in nature, okay?
So nature has a temple. Don't get upset.
You know what?
Don't get
You keep
upset.
saying that. Yes, bro.
No problem.
Nature has a temple.
A particular elements, principles, elements, forces, and so forth has temples, yes.
So nature has a temple.
Okay? So this is, a temple literally is like a school where you go to learn. It's an economic base. It's all sorts in one, with me. Okay? So now he's talking about Medu Neter. Now it's got here, ra ra ra. Okay? Which is either to do with offerings of the mouth or something else. You need to get the context of what's going on. With hieroglyphs, you can't just read it like that. You need to get the whole context.
Is there
of what's
one you
going on.
could read for the sake?
No, for the sake of this, we're going into this because it's the most clearest one we've seen so far. So I'm breaking it down for you.
But is
So
there
you-
one
wait. So you can see that we can look at the glyphs right now, and I'm explaining to you what there is, how you read it, and so forth, so you can understand. Because otherwise, I could just make something up and says this says in the name
No,
of
it would
Allah.
be great if you
And
said
then
that.
you'd be like, oh, wait,
No,
look, there's a
yeah,
last name
no.
in there, but you don't know because you don't read it. So I'm giving you a lesson in reading.
My
the hieroglyphs.
question originally was if you could read.
Yeah, you just proved it.
No, it would be
So
great.
I'm proving to you.
No,
you
I
can
can
read
read
it.
it.
Allow me to speak, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked you to choose a picture of your
No,
liking.
you never. You pulled up the phone.
Okay, let's do it
with
now
different
to save
hieroglyphs.
all of this nonsense
Okay.
debate.
This is just
I'm
getting
asking,
long.
could you find a text of hieroglyphics that you could read?
This is getting long. We've already pulled up
So
a
you
text.
can't.
We've already pulled up a text, and I'm reading for you right now.
No, you're reading letters. I agree with you, you're reading letters.
So what do you
I
want- what do you
context.
want?
When you read, do you read just letters or do you read the meaning
You
of
just
words?
told him to pull this up. So what do you want
No,
now?
I pulled up a
Okay, so
different
what do you want
picture.
now? What do you want now?
I want to know if he can read. This is what I want.
He's proven to you can read it.
right
He's
now
reading
to
it.
you, and
No,
I'm even
he's
teaching
reading
you how
letters.
to read it.
What do you want him to read?
Letters.
What do you
I
want him
to
to
know
read?
Context and meaning. When we
of
read
what?
of whatever picture he chooses, as long as he says it's not out of context.
What picture? So like what? Like
Okay,
what?
this picture you said was out of context. You could not read it.
No, I didn't say I could not read it. I'm reading
He's
it.
reading
I'm
it,
telling
but
you,
he's saying
there is
the meaning is there.
there's a context that needs to go with it,
Okay.
and you're taking.
Could you find-
Wait. You're literally taking
Like this. You just took the whole bottle that's right in here, but you
the
just
whole
took
writing
out.
there.
I
and
didn't
the-
choose this.
That's what you're
That's why I keep saying I didn't choose this. You choose a picture of your liking to show
Listen,
that.
And really-
it's
it's getting long.
Yeah,
What do you want him to do?
We
If
can
he
all
reads
see
it,
we can all see.
can
Based
read
upon this, I'm reading it. I'm showing you how
you can read it. Yeah.
The people, our audience are here. If you want to appeal to the community, Kemetics, you can do. But the other people are free to make their decision whether you can or cannot read.
How are they gonna know
One
that?
second. One second.
Listen, you would not be able to know.
How are you
unless I'm
gonna know?
teaching you how to know it, how to read it.
As Sarah said, that you do not teach people because people are not able to understand.
Yeah.
And this is what we have here. Every time I'm asking a question, it's like you're getting upset.
No, I'm not getting.
No one's
Okay,
getting
the
upset.
Medu Neter, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe because you're asking questions that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can help me.
To philosophical and scientific teachings, you're looking for something very literal because you're a God book follower.
Yeah.
And because you follow a God book,
Yeah.
you're a God book follower.
Yeah.
And so you need things written down and you need things in a certain way because you're a God book follower.
Yeah.
The people of African spiritual systems, they're not God book followers.
To see more videos like this, subscribe to Titans TV down below. Thanks.
Calling Django. The greatest darky that bite with shark teeth and hate malarkey. Who you? The greatest heartbeat. Ancient Egypt is a matriarchy. Who me? The one with the S on his chest when the motherfucker go by. Who you? The one everybody calls your highness cause the weed got you feeling so high.